So the carnivore diet, and what we hope it will do, and what we've seen it do for other people, is lower inflammation. That's probably the number one for us. It's easier to digest. This is really simple food, and I believe everything that we need to thrive is in this.
Several months later.
Just went from bad to worse. I just kicked salmonella's butt in 4 days. Peeing on my butt. The crazy thing is, getting pain now in my wrist, along the top of my foot, when I bend it. I think something overall is causing the different pain in different area. If any of y'all have any insight, feel free, because we're not sure what the heck.
All right, Justin, you asked for insights. I'm gonna give you my insights. Now, you might not like what I have to say, but you're so far down this rabbit hole that I think you just might listen. Now, first of all, I'm not gonna shame you for your dietary choices or anything that you've done that has to do with animal agriculture. And we're gonna talk about that a little more at the end of this video. But first, we have to show people how you got to where you are before we can answer the question, is an animal-based or carnivore diet killing Justin Rhodes?
Now, unless I'm getting sick, this is gonna be really cool, because all the diets I've done before, paleo, GAPS, other crazy diets I've done in the past, I've always been hungry, always. The only way I've been able to lose weight or whatever is to be a little bit hungry.
And I feel like we've done a lot of things for your Lyme disease and it didn't work. And so I found it and I was like, you should do the carnivore diet. He already eats more meat than your average person, I would say, and enjoys it. Whereas like me, if I tried to eat that much meat, I don't think I could do it. I think my individual body couldn't handle it. Because I do enjoy eating meat. I do enjoy it, but my plate, like our plates are opposite. So my plate has a little bit of meat and a lot of vegetables, and his plate has a little bit of vegetables and a lot of meat. So by individually, you have a higher need for meat than I do. So that's why I go back. And I want my kids to eat what they need. I want to go like I'm kind of feeling a lot on intuitive eating. Just in general, like we did the GAPS diet, but now we're kind of going away from that, and I'm feeling like maybe we just need to do what we feel intuitively to do.
So it's August 19th, 19 days after the 30-day experiment. I'm still going strong. To sum it up, I would say, if I could sum it up with one word, it would be satisfying. I've never been on a diet where I wasn't jonesing to get off of it and ready to just pig out on something I couldn't have. So I'm very satisfied on this.
Yeah, I knew you would be. You're a very meat eater.
I didn't have dramatic results like step out of bed on the 30th day, my back's not hurting and my feet are not hurting.
Well, so this is the thing. I think for those 30-day diets, they're very they're very helpful for people who going from a standard American diet to something healthy.
Yeah, I wasn't eating junk food in the first place.
Yeah, you weren't. You were eating some veggies.
Yeah.
And fruit with your...
We ain't eating a lot of starch. Y'all eat a lot of starch, I've noticed. And that's really the only thing that we'll crave, like a fried potato, and I'm like, that's really not that great for me anyway. You know, fried rice and butter.
I mean, the more I'm reading, it's, yeah, starch is, if I had any major health issues that were life-threatening, I would definitely cut out some starch. That'd be the first thing to go for me.
What?
I don't think I could do carnivore.
So,
I think everybody
we've
has to
established
that.
So this was his 30-day carnivore video, and in it he revealed that he's tried many of the low-carb diets, the paleo diet, the GAPS diet, and that he always finds himself hungry and is struggling to achieve weight loss and can't stay on the diet. Then he described the carnivore diet after 19 days in as being very satisfying. Okay, I want you guys to remember that, because in this video, which was released in August, which is his first 30 days on the diet, we can follow up and see how he's doing when he does a video on the MeatRx podcast in December of 2020, that same year. So let's take a look.
I did good. It was all exciting and good and fun until, I cheated on vacation because, it's a big part of the kids. They want me to. Like, of course, I'll have cake and the meal. We can do a special meal for their birthdays.
We also just had birthday season.
We just went through birthday season and then we went on vacation. And so, but like, it was so frustrating because my cheats is like kombucha and a grain-free pizza and tomato soup, God forbid, with a lot of cream in it and gluten-free grilled cheese. And these are not like, if I told a normal person, it's like, what? That would be my diet. But then if I do that, I come home, I'm 8 pounds heavier and I've got a headache and I got a kinked neck. And I just sitting down to the table and everybody's eating normal. And I'm like, I'm in tears. I'm about to cry saying, I wish I could eat like a normal healthy person. And so it is, I just want to be real. It's hard sometimes.
Like our kids eat peanut butter still, like they'll dip apple in peanut butter and they'll leave it out. And then that drives him crazy. And he's like, stop leaving the peanut butter out. Like if it's put away, it's fine. But if it's out on the table or whatever, and it's hard. I think that's been the hardest thing for us because I obviously I want to support him 100%, but like
I'm like peanut butter and chocolate at least has to get out of the house. I mean, but when you make onion rings, that's hard too, but I'll live with that.
I made onion rings the other night.
All right, so he's on the Skype call with Dr. Baker and things are going good up to this point with the exception of him being on vacation, eating some cheat meals, and then he gains 8 pounds just like that. And it seems like there's some distress between him and his family when it comes to certain food items like peanut butter and chocolate, which he calls his kryptonite. Now, I totally understand this because I can't leave jars of peanut butter sitting around because who can just eat 2 tablespoons of peanut butter? I mean, the serving size doesn't exist in real life. It's not how it works. I know y'all know that. But there's also some tension between him and his family because they're not on the carnivore diet and they're eating some carby food items like fried onion rings or cookies that she baked, and that kind of stuff creates a little bit of tension. So this is where we first see the difference between how the diet is presented when he initially started versus after being on it a little while, the whole mirage of it being so satisfying starts to fall away in the presence of other food choices where he really wants to go for it, but it feels inhibited. And that's what I want y'all to take away from this. Up to this point, it seems like the diet's working for him, except when he falls off the diet for non-carnivore type food items. So I'm not trying to present the diet as having not worked for him the first few months that he did it. But then if we fast forward to June of 2021, this is where things really start to go downhill.
So right there at the jawline, you're gonna go right above the jawline, put your hand below the jawline so you're not cutting your hand, and you're gonna slit. You could do 2, do you do 1 or 2 slits, Jonah?
Just 1, I think.
Okay. I'm just pulling everything out. There's the livers. So those are really dark livers. There's bile. Oh yeah, sure.
Eat that whole thing.
That's next level, eating the whole thing. You eat it.
No.
Try it.
I had a bad experience. Does it taste the same as cow liver?
No.
No, I'm not eating it.
Cow liver was sweeter.
All right, it looks like what happened is his son came up to him after they had been breaking down some chicken carcasses and he offered him a raw chicken liver. Now, I don't know if you thought there was some special nutrients in a raw chicken liver, but even his son was like, you eat some. And his son was like, nah, I had a bad experience one time. So there's some lessons here. Maybe eating raw chicken liver is not the best decision, but it might have been congruent with what he thought was a healthy dietary choice given the information that he had on hand and was accustomed to. So again, I'm not judging you for what you did, bro. I just want to show people this is a turning point in your health and set the stage for what you're about to see next.
The following day,
Justin actually got sick yesterday. He's hold on, let me get the baby. His feet started hurting more, and then he got really tired, and then he started needing to use the restroom quite a bit, and then just got really chilled, so he got in the bed, and it took a little while, but he worked up a fever, and so we think he must have the stomach bug or something. We're not 100% sure. It feels like a really heavy stomach bug. I don't know. But anyways, hopefully none of us get it. We're taking precautions. Henry and I didn't sleep in the room with him last night. Are you seeing? Are you saying hello? Justin is just gonna stay in bed all day today.
The next morning.
It is Monday morning, and we have figured out what is wrong with Justin. He has what we believe to be food poisoning or salmonella specifically. All his symptoms line up with that. We spoke with our friend Casey, who also had salmonella at one point, and it seems like that is what we're dealing with. We are treating it at home because there's no reason to go to the doctor. I'm doing all the herbs that my herbal book says to do. I have a great one from Stephen Buhner and it's for viruses and bacteria.
Whatever this, well, this is rough. Food poisoning, salmonella is what we reckon, or salmonella. I've got all the symptoms for those things, one or the other. Because nobody else is sick. I think it's 8:30. I need to, I feel like maybe should take a nap. Feel bad. Becca's having to do so much. I do a lot around here, so it's a lot when I'm out for everybody. Feel bad. So my job is to get better. So that means I should probably drink this water. No, I don't want to. Just took a hot bath for 20 minutes to sweat. Try to take a nap. I couldn't go to sleep. Checking my heart. Oxygen 94, heartbeat 96. My normal resting heart rate is usually like 45, 50. So my body's working really hard to heal.
4 to 6 days later.
It just went from bad to worse. I just kicked salmonella's butt in 4 days. Peeing on my butt. I've got this injury. I don't know, from laying down. This pain in my butt. It hurts so bad. I want to say it's worse. I can barely walk. The thing is, I really injure myself laying down. Like, well, what is this? I guess one of our biggest fears is like, is this Lyme related? I've tried chiropractor. I've tried ice bath. This is the 7th day. At this moment, we've been sick. We're injured. It's been a week to remember.
What do we got?
Okay. It's still hurting. Of course it's still gonna hurt. It's so bad.
3 days later.
And we started looking at our wrist. And my wrist, it is swollen. Like you can't see that knot there in my...
Yeah.
And it is warmer, and so...
It's swollen. You can see
She
the
ordered-
swelling up to here.
She suggested we get the doctor to order an x-ray.
So I called the doctor, and she is ordering an x-ray.
Like it feels like a but I can't imagine how anything like that would have happened. We just went into town to the physical therapy. He worked out some things.
Yeah.
He did some dry needling on my lower back muscles.
We're trying to figure
And
out
I
like,
walked.
your feet pain and stuff like that.
He told me to get up and walk, and I did. And I walked good. Now to the wrist. We are gonna go get an x-ray.
What we think has happened is this bacteria has caused your symptoms to flare up. I was reading about reactive arthritis online. A lot of it is some of Justin's symptoms, or what he experiences on a daily basis anyways. And so I honestly wonder if he's had reactive arthritis from the beginning, from after Lyme disease, from the Lyme.
This hurts, but it's not excruciating like it was. The crazy thing is, getting pain now in my wrist, along the top of my foot, when I bend it. I think something overall is causing the different pain in different area. If any of y'all have any insight, feel free, because we're not sure what the heck.
Several days later.
Guys, I'm not sleeping well. I only got 45 minutes of deep sleep last night. I'm thinking because of the pain. Paul Saladino, though, a guy I follow for the animal-based diet, was saying Some of you carnivores, you need to add, you can do some simple carbohydrates if you're having problems sleeping. Some of the things I'm already eating, like squash and cucumbers, berries. Which, did you know banana is a berry? Yes, it's a berry. But he also said white rice. Yes. About some white rice, just loaded with butter. I think that, maybe that would help me sleep. Because of this went beyond my goal weight, like I'm losing weight. Going further than I had imagined, so.
Now you're losing more weight than you
I
wanted
think we
to?
want to stabilize that.
Like,
Well,
that's
you guys
not
are
all
saying,
fat, dude.
oh,
You're
it's
losing
gout.
lean muscle too.
It's not gout. We actually are under the care of 2 different doctors. Wish it was gout, because we could heal that easily. It's a rare 1 to 5% chance you get Campylobacter, you get arthritis. Some people get temporary paralysis. So thankfully, it didn't go that far. Need to get me as well as possible. Stay on my feet, even if it hurts. We gotta take advantage of this once in a lifetime opportunity. A couple supplements this morning. It is advised to take it with food, so I'm taking a little bit of a broth.
Broth, bro.
Turmeric. Rebecca is making me a broth-based white rice.
Broth rice.
I'm kind of looking forward to. No, I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't had rice in, I want to say, a year. Rebecca's got me on a castor oil pack. Pull out inflammation. Thank you, Becca. We're pulling out all the stops. Rebecca, that was actually very relaxing.
Good.
Hour and a half castor oil session. Feels so good. 40-minute sauna. Watch this, Becky. I feel so much different than yesterday. Yesterday, just everything hurt. And now I feel like it's just in a few spots. Just gotta get that toe better. We're gonna have a good night tonight. I took charcoal before I got into the sauna.
Yeah.
So I'm doing apple cider vinegar and charcoal. Now I just gotta add the swine
Kelp.
NutriBalancer.
Kelp.
Oh, and the kelp.
What about vitamin
And then we'll be on the pig protocol and the vitamin C. I'm missing quite a few things, aren't I? I don't think I'll go that far.
All right, Justin, I want to help you get out of pain and I want to help you get out of this situation. But I can only show you the door. And what you do moving forward, you own your decisions. So listen carefully. Everything that you're going through right now comes down to this clip.
The more I'm reading, it's, yeah, starches, if I had any major health issues that were life-threatening, I would definitely cut out some starch. That'd be the first thing to go for me.
All right, Justin, you've cut out all the starch. Now you've started adding the starch back in. We have to be honest with ourselves and step back from the totality of what you've done over the last few years. You've tried the GAPS diet, you've tried the paleo diet, you've tried the carnivore diet, you've tried the carnivore diet with fruit, the carnivore diet with rice, and somewhere in the middle you're going back in circles again. I mean, what haven't you tried when it comes to animal-based low-carb diets, man? You know, you think Whole30 is gonna fix it at this point? Like, no, dude, you've gone all the way down the rabbit hole, and trust me, I've been there. It looks to me like the assumptions that you're making about what constitutes a healthy diet might be wrong. And if you step back and look at what you've done over the last few years, only you can decide if it's working for you. If, you know, you're always hungry and you can't lose any weight and you're always chasing down these kryptonite foods like peanut butter and chocolate, you're on the struggle bus, man. I just want to help you. And I'm not going to shame you for doing this animal-based diet because I did that. I did the local pasture-raised paleo diet. I went into the keto diet, the cyclical keto. I tried a number of different things. And we're not talking about a few months or a few weeks. Like, we're talking about years. And then ultimately just losing my health entirely. And then finally coming to the conclusion that what if I was wrong about starch being bad for you? And that's when I found Dr. McDougall. I had tried the vegan diet thing, but let's be real, man. Like, going on a raw vegan juice fast or detoxing or any of this, that stuff, it's not gonna work for you, man. I'm just gonna be straight up. In my opinion, it's not gonna work. But look at some of the things you're already into, man. You're already doing like 7 supplements or all of these biohacks that are in the low carb community, like these saunas and ice baths and these different types of supplements that sound shady, like charcoal and what, I don't even know all the things you said, like the pig protocol. Like, not working, dude. Like, wake up. It's not working, man. I'm trying to be polite here, but what you are doing in totality is not working for you. This is the red pill, dude. It's time to wake up and face the music and step back without being afraid of offending your wife because she's been reading some like keto mommy blogs and thinks she knows what she's talking about. I don't want to offend you here, you guys here, because I'm trying to be polite, but it's very possible that she has the wrong information about what creates health. Really, man. Starch is bad for you, dude. You're talking about starch. You're talking about complex carbohydrates. You're talking about the food that civilizations were built on, that post-agricultural revolution. Corn, rice, beans, potatoes, sweet potatoes, lentils. Every time that you mention some sort of a complex carbohydrate in this entire video, it was some complex carbs matched with fatty, unnecessary fat in your diet. So it's like, oh, I'll have some rice with butter, or oh, I'll have these cookies, or oh, I'll have this grain-free grilled cheese sandwich, or I'll have, you know, all these things that you mentioned, like the gluten-free pizza. And it's like, dude, you're not eating starch in its original whole food form. That's what I'm trying to express to you, dude. Maybe it's time to think about what would happen if for 1 week you just ate sweet potatoes and lentils and chickpeas, and maybe mix in some oatmeal for breakfast with some blueberries. Like, not adding a ton of butter or heavy cream or oil or a bunch of bacon and eggs and all the stuff that you've been doing for the last few years. Respectfully, maybe reassess the situation about complex carbohydrates and where they fit into your diet. And I'm sure you've got a lot of excuses about why you can't do that, because that is really what runs amok in the low carb sphere. You know, the carbs turn to sugar and they feed candida, and then that's what makes cancer grow. And it's all of these things that it's just not real, man. Those are excuses. And what I want you to do is I want you to take those excuses and I want you to put them into a box with Will Smith's Mama's Titties from Bad Boys 2, and the Candida, and the Sugar Feeds Cancer, and the Keto Mommy blog, and all of that stuff. I want you to take that and put it into a box and shove that box deep inside the back of your brain and file it under shit that hasn't been working for you for the last few years, bro. Now take that to the bank. And now that I've said some harsh things, I want to take a step back and I want to say something about the vegan community and how they've treated you and the homesteading, animal-based agriculture thing. First of all, I'm aware that the slaughtering a fat hen video is really what rocketed you to success on the YouTube platform, in part because of what vegans did to draw attention to that video. You'll notice that I'm not trying to shame you for your diet, because I've been there, eating the pasture-raised, animal-based diet. I've been there, bro. And this is what I want to say on this topic. I think there's a big misfire in the vegan community when they go after these homesteaders, because these are people who have an enormous amount of influence in their communities. Why? Because people come to them to get local food. Yeah, it's harder to grow vegetables and get a ton of calories than from plant-based foods that you grow on your own homestead versus including animal-based products in that. But I know someone who's doing that, and I can help you get in touch with him with his plant-based homestead. It's not a joke, dude. It's doable. And I think one of the things that vegans do is they try to shame these guys who are doing homesteading because they're doing animal agriculture and they don't want to see the animals get slaughtered or mistreated and this sort of thing. But what y'all vegans need to realize is that if a few homesteaders like Justin Rhodes started figuring out what's going on and making changes in their diet, then that's going to affect the people around them. You know, he's tried all this stuff, and this is where it's gotten him so far. And if he decides to switch to sweet potatoes and lentils and chickpeas and oatmeal instead of buttery rice and bacon, then it's very likely that his 800,000 subscribers are going to be surprised and catch on. And when he starts feeling better, it might just change a few people's minds. So instead of shaming this dude for what he's been doing, trying to make the best decisions that he can for himself and the health of his family, maybe we just try to open the door and show him that there's another way. So Justin, I can't help you step through that door. I can only show you that door. But you can reach out to me if you need to. I think I've said what I wanted to say. The sun's gone down and it's about to be a new day. I'll catch y'all in the next video. All right, y'all know what time it is. Red Pill Vegan. Next.